Since the beginning of time, humanity has lived at the mercy of nature. But sometimes, nature strikes with unimaginable force. Earthquakes that level entire cities in seconds. Floods that swallow millions of lives. Cyclones and tsunamis so powerful, they erase entire communities from the map. These are not just stories of destruction, they are tragedies written in history, where the death tolls climb into the hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions. Today, we uncover the top 10 deadliest natural disasters in history, a haunting reminder of just how small we are against the power of the Earth itself. 1931, Yangtze River floods, China. In the summer of 1931, the Yangtze River turned into a weapon of destruction. Weeks of relentless rainfall combined with melting snow from the mountains caused the river to swell far beyond its limits. Entire villages were swallowed, farmlands vanished underwater, and millions were forced from their homes. Hunger and disease spread like wildfire, making the disaster even deadlier. By the time the waters receded, an estimated 316,000 lives were lost, though some reports suggest the true toll may have been in the millions. It remains one of the deadliest floods humanity has ever witnessed, a tragic reminder of how fragile human life can be against the power of nature. 526. Antioch earthquake, Turkey, Syria. In the year 526, the bustling city of Antioch, one of the great centers of the Byzantine Empire, was reduced to rubble in a matter of minutes. A massive earthquake struck without warning, collapsing buildings, temples, and homes as tens of thousands were trapped beneath the ruins. Fires broke out across the city, raging for days and consuming what little had survived the quake. The destruction was so complete that Antioch, once a shining hub of trade and culture, became a graveyard. An estimated 250,000 lives were lost, making it one of the deadliest earthquakes in recorded history, and a tragedy that echoed through centuries. 2004. Indian Ocean tsunami. On December 26, 2004, a massive undersea earthquake, measuring 9.1 in magnitude, shook the floor of the Indian Ocean off the coast of Sumatra. Within minutes, towering waves raced outward at the speed of a jet plane, striking the shores of 14 countries. Entire villages in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, and Thailand were swept away in seconds. Families enjoying a normal morning were caught completely off guard, with no warning as walls of water swallowed everything in their path. The destruction was unimaginable. Over 230,000 lives were lost, making it one of the deadliest tsunamis in human history. It was a tragedy that shocked the entire world and forever changed how nations prepare for natural disasters. 1976. Tangshan earthquake, China. In the early hours of July 28, 1976, as the city of Tangshan slept, the ground suddenly shook with unimaginable force. A 7.6 magnitude earthquake struck without warning, leveling nearly every building within seconds. Factories, schools, and entire neighborhoods collapsed into rubble, trapping thousands beneath the debris. Survivors described the city as if it had been bombed, flattened in the blink of an eye. Rescue efforts were slow and overwhelming, as aftershocks continued to strike, deepening the devastation. By the time the dust settled, an estimated 242,000 people were dead, though some believe the real number was far higher. The Tangshan earthquake remains one of the most catastrophic urban disasters in modern history, a night when an entire city was silenced. 1970. Bola cyclone, Bangladesh. On the night of November 12, 1970, one of the deadliest storms in recorded history struck the coast of East Pakistan, modern-day Bangladesh. Winds of over 115 miles per hour tore through villages, while a massive storm surge swallowed entire coastal communities. In low-lying areas, families had no chance to escape as walls of water rushed inland, sweeping away homes, crops, and livestock. Communication was cut off, leaving millions stranded without aid. By the time the waters receded, nearly 300,000 people had lost their lives, with some estimates reaching 500,000. The Pola cyclone was more than just a natural disaster. It exposed the deep vulnerability of the region and left behind scars that reshaped the nation's history. 1920, Haiyuan earthquake, China. On December 16, 1920, northern China was struck by one of the most powerful earthquakes in modern history. The Haiyuan earthquake, with a magnitude of 7.8, ripped through villages and towns, collapsing entire communities in seconds. Landslides buried valleys, while cracks split the earth wide open, swallowing homes and farmland. Winter cold made survival nearly impossible for those who escaped the rubble, as thousands were left without shelter or food. By the end, an estimated 273,000 people were dead, and countless others were displaced. The Haiyuan earthquake remains one of the most devastating seismic disasters the world has ever seen, a moment when the ground itself became humanity's greatest enemy. 1908, Messina earthquake, Italy. On the morning of December 28, 1908, disaster struck the city of Messina in southern Italy. Within less than a minute, a powerful 7.1 magnitude earthquake reduced the city to rubble. Entire neighborhoods collapsed, trapping thousands beneath shattered stone and timber. But the horror did not end there. Just minutes later, massive tsunami waves crashed onto the coast, sweeping away survivors and what little remained standing. Fires soon broke out, adding to the devastation. By the time the tragedy ended, an estimated 100,000 people had been killed, making it the deadliest earthquake in European history. Messina was left in ruins, a city silenced in an instant by the unstoppable power of nature. 1975. Banqiao Dam failure, China. In August 1975, one of the deadliest engineering disasters in history unfolded in China's Henan province. After days of relentless rainfall from a powerful typhoon, the Banqiao Dam, once considered indestructible, could no longer withstand the pressure. In the middle of the night, the dam burst, unleashing a wall of water more than 20 feet high that tore through villages and farmlands at terrifying speed. Entire towns were washed away within minutes, and millions were left stranded in the flood's aftermath. Disease and famine followed, making the disaster even worse. An estimated 171,000 people lost their lives, turning what was once a symbol of progress into a haunting reminder of human vulnerability against both nature and failed design. 2010. Haiti earthquake, Haiti. On January 12, 2010, disaster struck the Caribbean nation of Haiti. A magnitude 7.0 earthquake ripped through the capital, Port-au-Prince, collapsing homes, schools, hospitals, and government buildings within seconds. The devastation was overwhelming. Entire neighborhoods turned to dust, and thousands were trapped beneath the rubble. With little infrastructure and almost no emergency response system, survivors were left to dig through ruins with their bare hands in search of loved ones. The country, already among the poorest in the world, was brought to its knees. More than 160,000 people lost their lives, while millions were left homeless. The Haiti earthquake remains one of the most heartbreaking modern disasters. 2008. Cyclone Nargis, Myanmar. In May 2008, Cyclone Nargis tore through Myanmar with winds of over 120 miles per hour, bringing with it a deadly storm surge that swallowed entire villages. The Irrawaddy Delta, home to millions of farmers, was devastated as walls of water rushed inland, drowning fields, homes, and families in minutes. With communication systems destroyed and aid blocked for days, survivors were left without food, clean water, or shelter. Disease spread rapidly, and the true scale of the disaster only became clear weeks later. Nearly 138,000 people were killed, making it one of the deadliest cyclones in modern history. For Myanmar, Nargis was more than just a storm. It was a national tragedy that exposed the terrible cost of vulnerability and unpreparedness. These disasters remind us how fragile life truly is against the force of nature. Which one shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that reveal the power of our world.